I just assumed one day I would get it. But I didn't. Sometime around 15 years old I started to realize the problem: I wasn't sexually attracted to men. After about 8 months of identity crisis over this, I decided to muster up the courage to tell James before anyone else. I went over to his house trembling. He opened the door and gave me a hug, and I came in. We sat down and he looked at me for a second before putting his hand on mine and asking me what was wrong. So, I tried to tell him. And I got halfway through the sentence, struggling to actually say I'm gay, before he just interrupted me and said, "You were gay." "Yes. I know. Is there anything else?" Followed by that goofy smile I love so much, and I just froze in place. I asked him if he was mad and he just laughed and told me he loved me the way I was, and this was the way I was. I just started crying and jumped into his arms. We stayed best friends after that. We never actually had a breakup talk, but we did start to date other people. We hung out almost every day until we graduated and he went away to a big-name college. The night before he left, he came and picked me up and we drove around town and hit all our favorite spots. He drove me back home at 3 a.m. or something in the rain, and I took his hand during the drive home and fell asleep on his shoulder. I remember wondering then for a moment if I should just marry him anyway. But he was going away to college, and I'm not attracted to men, so it probably couldn't work no matter how I felt about him otherwise. He promised to stay in touch, but I didn't know if that would happen. Well, it did. Obviously it wasn't like before, but he made sure to call me every week just to check up on me and see how things were going. During his junior year, my parents found out that I was gay. They did not react well, and I was basically kicked out of my home to save me. I did what I always do and called James. He talked to me for about an hour and then got his mom to drive up to get me so I could stay in his old room. Then he flew home the next day pretty much just to cheer me up and make sure I was alright. I later found out from my mom that he had also gone and confronted my parents, stood up for me and told them they should be ashamed of themselves, and if they were willing to lose their daughter over this, they were unfit parents and not the second family I thought you were. My parents worship him, so this was effective, and my mom still tells this story to this day. Once again, I remember wondering at the time, will I ever know anyone else in my life who would do this for me? But he was heading off back to college and he was still a man. And then I got the diagnosis of cancer. Decent chance of survival, but I had to start treatment right away. At first, everyone was there for me. I was getting visitors. Daily, friends, family, everyone. But as the weeks turned into months, it all stopped. When things were looking bad around the 7 to 8 month, my girlfriend broke up with me, claiming she loved me but she couldn't handle watching this. Almost 2 years in now, and there's only 5 people who are still here. My family and James. I almost can't talk about it without crying, but James is here every fucking day. Every day. For hours. He may have missed 20 days in almost 2 years due to work-related travel, and even then he calls me. He comes in and asks how his amumu is doing and listens. He brings my favorite snacks when I can have them, board games we like to play, old video games on handheld so we can play. He sings to me and shows me pictures of places he's been I'd like to go, and talks about taking me once I'm better. He sits there and holds my hand in silence so I won't be alone until the doctors tell him it's time to go. Then he does it again the next day. I've never seen him cry or show any sadness. If I even casually say something like if I get better, he'll immediately interject, when you get better. He just won't give up on me. This experience has also changed my relationship with Mom, as well. She's proven to me that no matter what happened in the past and what we may have clashed over, she loves me like no one else, except maybe James. My mom is the #1 all-time James fangirl. A long time ago she stopped that. Then about a month ago, Mom was a little more direct. After James left one evening, she told me, "Baby, in all my years on this earth, I've never seen anyone love anybody like that boy loves you. I know you don't like it when I talk about this, but trust me, if you let him go again you're gonna regret it forever." I don't know what has changed, but this time when she said that, I just knew she was right. In general, I find the idea of being with a man disgusting, but I don't find it disgusting with him. I like being touched by him and being close to him. He's so gentle. Lately I even find myself fixating on his lips and daydreaming about kissing him. Now the big problem is the cancer. Honestly, I'm not really on the fence about this anymore. If I survive, I want to be with him. I'm getting better and the doctors are hopeful. But I am not sure if I should tell him now, or not. I want to tell him so bad. I want him to know how much I love him. Lovers have come and gone for both of us, but every time I close my eyes and think about times I felt truly loved, understood and accepted, it's always his smiling face I see. When I think about times I felt warm and safe, it's his arms I feel wrapping around me like a warm blanket just my size, his voice I hear saying, "Don't worry Amumu, it'll be alright." Or cracking some silly joke. I want him to know that I want him with me, by my side forever. There's nowhere I'd rather be than wherever he is, doing absolutely anything. Cuddling up on the couch, making jokes about stupid movies, playing our favorite video games, talking about life till 2 a.m., driving around in circles while he sings boy band songs like a goofball. I don't care as long as he's there, too. I want him to know that if I survive this, we will be together. That's what I want. That's all I want. He's all I want. But I'm scared to tell him, because I don't know what's going to happen. If I don't make it, would it have been kinder to just keep this to myself? If you were him and in this position, would you want me to tell you how I feel?